عظيم هو السامي لدين عظيم هو السامي فخور بإسلامي فمنه ارتويت.
ورحمة الله وبركاته. My name is Abdikhaliq Hassan. I am the Secretary General of JQuat Muslim Student Association, and I will be talking about the topic for today, Islam and AI, together with my colleague Saad Adan. Nasikika vizuri? Together with my colleague Saad Adan, who will join me later. I find it very unfortunate if very many speakers who have been here before me try to attribute AI, like everyone is trying to put it as if ChatGPT is AI. Yes, it is, but it's just an example of AI. We cannot just attribute all our research and findings to only ChatGPT. That is just a mere example of an AI model. AI is just, it's any technology that imitates the human thinking, either through learning, reasoning, problem solving. And what AI uses basically is mathematics, numbers, number 1 to 10. That is just all what you see here. Codings, algorithms. So before I start my presentation, I want us to ask ourselves one question. The concept of algebra was long attributed to Islam, to Muslim scholars back in the days. Each and every speaker who was here before me, and also me included, we will lament about how the Western powers are oppressing us using these social medias, using these AI models, because most of us, the Muslim countries, sit at the receiving end of these models. The ones who sit at where these products are made, and they are made are the Western powers, and then it's them who dictate how these models work. So one of the early scholars by the name Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khawarizm wrote 2 books, Kitab al-Jabr and Kitab al-Jam wal-Fiqh. Al-Jabr, that is where we got the word algebra from. So I want to challenge you. I want to challenge myself, and I want to challenge you. Where did we go wrong as Muslims? That today these things are not in our hands anymore, and that we are depending on what other people are doing. If these things, we sit at the table where these products are made, we can tailor them according to the Islamic principles and guidelines. And before we talk about AI, which we have clearly defined that AI is not either ChatGPT or DeepSeek, that these are just models and these are just examples of AI, and AI means something bigger than that. That AI is just people playing with neural networks, the input layer, the hidden layer, and the output layer. These are just the 3 layers of all these things that you are seeing. And all of us, what we depend on is the output layer. That is just what we know. The other ones are known by the few who know how to program and do that. So for us to talk about AI very well, let us understand, or let us remind ourselves about 4 Islamic principles: Tawheed, Amana, Idl, and Ilm. All these are not things that are new to us. Tawheed, all of us know what Tawheed is. The absolute oneness of God. As much as we come here and talk about the achievements of AI, let us just understand that these are just innovations by we the human beings, of which we the human beings are also creations of Allah. It's just a creation of human beings, and human themselves are creation of God. So we should avoid ascribing any form of divinity or ultimate power to AI, and always recognize God's supreme authority and knowledge. Amana. Islam teaches that humanity is entrusted with the responsibility to care for the earth and its resources. So it is in this principle that we should be accountable for the happenings of AI, the ones that are within our companionship. Adl, justice. Adl signifies justice and fairness in Islam. In the context of AI, it necessitates how we are going to use these AI systems that are free from bias and discrimination. The same to knowledge. After we have understood and grasped the 4 principles, let us talk about the current applications of AI in Islam. How is AI being used positively in AI in the Muslim Ummah? The ones that is basically all of us know is the issue of automated Quran recitation. AI nowadays, the tools that have been developed assist individuals in improving their Quranic recitation, tajweed. Islamic finance. Here I will want to spend some bit of time to talk about it. Islamic finance. This is a field that is very, very much developing. And in Islamic finance, I will want to talk about a case study of an app called Ethis in Malaysia, which is being used to flag any investment that contains even a little bit of riba. There was a scenario where students in America tried to come up with a model that accepts an interest rate of 0.01. However minute that 0.01 is, it's still not allowed in our religion. We have to understand that. And on still the issue of Islamic finance, this is just my personal opinion and thinking. I'm someone who is very much interested in the field of stocks, shares. So the question that I'm posing to you is, do you think the dividends that you earn on a company that invests or that uses alcoholic equipment or alcoholic raw materials, if you invest in, I don't want to name any company, let's say a company A sells alcohol, and you as an individual, you invest and you buy some shares. The company announces profits at the end of the year, and you are due to receive some dividends. Is it halal or haram? This is a question that we as the Muslim Ummah, we are supposed to ask ourselves. A company that sells alcohol can be maybe clearly seen that it is engaging itself in something haram, and you can run away from that. What about a company that uses alcoholic raw materials in making of finished products? Of course, you as an investor, you are not there at the manufacturing bit to see that they have used some alcoholic equipment in raw materials. What if we develop an AI model, and as we all know, AI model works on a simple concept of garbage in, garbage out. What you feed that AI model is clearly what it is giving you. If you feed biased and false data, it is going to give you biased and false information. There is no magic that AI can go and collect data on its own. You just have to create an environment for it to do the work properly if you have fed the right data into it. So my opinion is, what if we think of a scenario where we come up with an application? I'm sure there is one, of course, with an application in the context of Kenya. The companies that are listed under the Nairobi Securities Exchange are 50 something in the different sectors, technological, manufacturing. What if we try to come up with a model that analyzes all the activities of these different companies, so that if a Muslim wants to invest in shares, which is a very good, lucrative and profitable business for anyone who understands how these things work, what if we try to come up with a model that can trace all what these companies do, so that Muslims can maybe stop engaging in haram activities when they don't know. The other thing I want to talk about the current applications is halal food certification. In Dubai, there is each and every food that is bought, for example, meat, has a QR code where you scan. If you scan that QR code, it clearly tells you, it traces back to where even this meat has been slaughtered. Do we really have that in Kenya? I doubt. These are the things that we are supposed to challenge ourselves. You cannot just work on the sentiment that someone tells you that hiyo slaughter imechinjiwa na Muislamu. How do you know? Another current applications is virtual da'wah platforms. I'm going to leave that to my brother Saad. Let us move on to ethical considerations, AI, bias, and Islamic values. As we continue to explore the capabilities and the weaknesses of AI, it is paramount that we critically examine the ethical questions. Number one, as I said it before, preventing algorithmic bias. All the problems that you see happening, that maybe Islamic content is being flagged or whatever, is being done at the base, algorithmically. That is where it is programmed that you flag this and you flag this. Data privacy. As much as we try to use AI, we have to also understand the Islamic principle of that emphasizes on the privacy of individuals, the concept of transparency. And let's move on to challenges, misinformation, and security. I want to ask a question. Should AI ever lead Salah? This question seems very, it looks very awkward, but if right now what you are experiencing is people using artificial intelligence to come on with khutbah topics based on the current situation that is happening, why shouldn't you think of a future where AI is leading Salah? Which of course, for me as a person, I discourage it. But this is something that we are supposed to think about and also learn about ourselves. Then, on the challenges, AI carries a lot of misinformation, as one of my colleagues who was here said, about the Muslim perspectives, and it has been trained to flag someone who was covered as a lady, as a terrorist or whatever. These are all the problems of increasing sophistication of AI-generated content. Then, ethical AI governance and cybersecurity risks. These are all things that artificial intelligence poses to even your data. If you access a website, how sure are you that this website is not even reading the data that is in your phone? Let us move on to what we want to implement. Platform building, as I said. How we, the Muslims community, come together and come up with a model, a platform for us as Muslims. that it is us who are going to feed the data based on the Quranic and Islamic principles, and that it is going to be used openly, I think we will stop lamenting so much and complaining so much. Then Islamic or halal content creation and planning hackathons. Hackathons are competitions where someone poses, maybe let's say AMYLESA poses a question on a research question. How we are going to use the people to come up with models that is going to flag stocks or companies that engage in haram activities, and then you give it to university as a Muslim association. Each and every person to come with a model, a scientific model, not just theory, and how these models are going to work. You just provide these students with data. These are how these models are just brought about. So let us also think about that. As I conclude, and I invite my brother Saad to prepare himself, we have to understand one thing: the completeness of our religion. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. That AI is not coming, or any day we are going to formulate any kind of model to replace our scholars. The last say remains to be for our scholars. Our religion, Islam, is already complete. And what AI is just can help us to do is it just facilitates for us the learning processes and helps us speed or makes work easier for the scholars. But the decisions of Islam lies with the scholars. We cannot allow AI to give fatwa on behalf of the scholars. That is not a feature where we are anticipating or thinking. وهذا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.